What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 41 of Hit the Books, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of sports and sports gambling. Each episode, we break down the latest news and trends, provide analysis, and offer up our best bets and betting advice. So let's jump into this episode of Hit the Books. On this week's episode, we have everyone back, Huff, Ace, and Mackie, myself. Mackie has returned safely from the country of Mexico. NHL and NBA finals are happening now. On top of that, we have the NFL and MLB with some news and things to review that you just do not want to miss. Also, we cannot forget about our power rankings in the MLB that we have been doing each and every week. But let's jump into this week's episode and introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Ace, let's start off with you this week, buddy. What do you got for me?
Yeah, ready to get going on another week here. Got a lot of entries on that DraftKings pool, so that was pretty exciting to see. And we have the finals underway in both these top two sports. But I've been following baseball a lot lately. I mean, a lot of fun stuff going on there. A lot of prospects coming up this year. I don't know if it's because I'm paying attention to it more because my Boston teams are out right now, or if it's just because there's actually more. So that's pretty interesting to see. But ready to get talking another week. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yet another week. Mackie, you're up next. Back from vacation safely from Cancun, Mexico. Saw you playing some golf down there. We reviewed your scores at the end of last episode. I hope you caught that one. What do you got for us, buddy? Happy to have you back.
Yeah, I've shot better than that before, but just it's nice to be on vacation. Got a nice week off. Obviously missed the boys, but couldn't be happier to be back talking sports, doing what I love best.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Let's finish it off with you, Huff. Another week here on the show.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? Ace said it. The DraftKings prize pool killed it. Shout out to everyone that joined that. I'm excited to hear. I definitely want to hear what everyone put in for that for us. I'm interested to compare what we all had for that, and we'll get into that when we get into the NHL. But other than that, not much going on with me. Excited to be back. A lot of stuff going on in the sports world, so excited to get into it.
All right, boys, let's start it off. Episode 41, we're here. I want to start off with a little top three segment. Top three college mascots. Who are your top three college mascots each and every year, of all time, I guess is a good way to put it.
I'll start us off here. I put this in here. Big college football guy, college basketball. Love seeing the college mascots running around the student sections at all these college games. And I'll start with number 3. I have the Michigan State Spartan, classic, a staple in the college basketball world. You're always seeing the green and white Spartan running around the student section up there in Michigan State, but that's definitely number 3 for me. Number 2, I'm going to go the Georgia Bulldog, whether you want to go the real one that sits in the mini refrigerator or the mascot version. Both are sick. Georgia's number 2. And then number 1, I'm going to go with the Oregon Duck. It's the classic. I feel like most people, that's one of their favorite go-to mascots that they're going to think of is the Oregon Duck. Another one that was pretty similar to that I also like, but I feel like I couldn't put them both in there was the Miami Hurricane. Another sick mascot up there. So, but those are my top 3. 3 Michigan State, 2 Georgia, 1 Oregon.
I love the Oregon Duck. I that one just missed my top 3, but I will say, Huff, I'm a little ashamed you didn't put your hometown mascot in there. You're an alum and everything, so that'll get me into my top 3. But number 3, I'm gonna go the orange, the Syracuse orange. I just think it's a cool little. It looks like a little ball. It's kind of cool. You see that walking around the stadium. I think it'd be pretty cool. Number 2, I'm gonna go the Mountaineer, just because 1, I'm an alum, and 2, not many mascots are actual living. So, it's cool that they're a little unique. They're different than everybody else. So I like that too. Number 1, I'm gonna go the Colorado Buffalo. This one is just for me, just because Buffalo was the first game, or in Boulder was the first game that I've been to a college football game when I was like 8 years old. And I saw the Buffalo run on the field and thought it was pretty cool. So that one's always stuck with me. So yeah, that's my top 3.
So that's definitely a different top 3. The Syracuse orange is another one. That's a hard one to get out of there for me, out of my top 3. But college basketball, the orange is a staple.
Wow, I actually don't think the orange is cool at all, but it is iconic. I'll say that. Not as big of a college guy, so I'll go with the pretty standard list, I guess you'll say. But no, coming at number 3, I had the Oregon Duck as well. I was surprised Huff said that. I was like, that's just, what's a cool mascot? I just think of one that pops in my mind. And some of the jersey concepts you see with that Oregon Duck head is pretty cool as well. coming at 2 though, I also had the Georgia Bulldog, but I meant definitely the real one though. Definitely the real one. I mean, what's his name? Uga or something?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's going out there all the time. I'm walking onto the field. It's an elite football program too, so it's always cool to see him. Gotta love the dogs. And then at number 1, I had the Mountaineer for all the reasons like Mackie said. Actually shocked that Huff didn't have it in his top 3, being an alma mater, former club hockey player there. But I'll put him in there for sure. And it's cool. Like, we actually know the tradition that it goes with. They rotate through the people year in and year out. And it's an actual person, and it's iconic to the state. It's just checks every box for me with that Mountaineer. So pretty standard for me, but you hear what Jesse has to say.
Ace, when you said you had 2 of the same 3 as me, I thought for sure you were going to say Michigan State. I didn't think you were going with Georgia.
Yeah, no, that's iconic, dude. The real dog? Come on. Who else does that?
The Huskies, the Yukon does that. Don't they have a real Husky?
Yeah, but like UConn.
Buffaloes have a real
UConn,
buffalo.
Yeah, true. I guess the real ones are. I get what you're saying with WU. I don't know.
Maybe
when I
it's
think of
because Georgia's always in the spotlight too. That's why you got to go with that one.
it's just whenever I think of a mascot, I think of like the big furry like suit. You know what I mean?
Like the Philadelphia Fanatic.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Gritty.
Not great.
Not gritty.
They do probably have the best mascots.
Yeah, but it's because they can't perform on the field, so they'll perform off of it.
Yeah. Okay. Bring entertainment somehow.
Steelers don't even have a mascot like that walks on a stadium.
Yeah, that's.
They did at one point for like a year or two.
Steely McBeam, and then that died. People were like, "That's a lame ass fucking name
What
for a
was it?
mascot."
Steel Rod?
Steely McBeam. That's one you could actually chirp about because that's a
terrible. Who voted for that?
Oh, that sounds like something I'd make up that like went to church.
yeah. That's what I mean. It sounds like a chirp that you would have said to me like sophomore year call.
Yep. But no, it's just, I guess my trips were too far off then.
Yeah, honestly.
Solid picks there, boys. Let me run through my top 3. I got the Syracuse Otto, the orange. I think he's iconic. I think that's just hilarious. Reminds me of Kool-Aid Man. My next one is Nebraska's Herbie Husker. Just a good old corn farmer. You can't go wrong with a good old corn farmer. Finally, a little bias, the Penn State Nittany Lion. Former alum, love it. Can't go wrong with it. Classic.
A classic one that no one said that I knew Jesse wasn't going to say is Brutus. That's one that didn't make any of them. What's another one that I was thinking that maybe someone would say?
I really liked the Miami Hurricane as one. That's pretty cool.
I bet you know what I mean. You can't have the Oregon Duck and the Miami Hurricane. They're basically the same.
No.
They're so similar.
What do you want? 2 birds? I just think the color scheme of the Ducks probably makes it go harder, even though the Canes are right there with them.
Yeah. Honorable mention though. I said to Western Kentucky, their mascot literally is the Kool-Aid Man. It's pretty sweet. I don't know what his name is,
Blob of red. It's called Big Red.
it's literally just a red blob.
Called Big Red.
It's hilarious.
See, like where I'm from, it's like college hockey mostly, the college basketball. Like what do we have around here? The Providence Friar.
I was gonna say the Providence Friars.
Rhode Island Ram.
Yeah, the URI sucks. I mean, PC is where it's at. That's it. I like URI. Don't get me wrong. To all the people that are listening that are big URI fans, no, like definitely like URI, but I just think PC historically better team. At least in my lifetime.
Dartmouth College has Carry the Keg,
That's pretty dope.
and it's like legit.
What is it?
Carry the Keg.
Send it in the group chat. I want to look at it real quick. Is it like a keg?
What
That's a
fruit?
stupid question, but like, is it a literal keg?
Oh, it does say non-official. I read some different.
I was gonna
but
say, who approved
I guess
that?
they don't have one. I'll send you guys a picture of it though. You'll laugh. It's funny.
Yeah, no way. That's the official.
I saw it on some website. And I was like, okay, that was real.
Keggy the Keg.
There's no way that's fucking real.
I kind of like it.
I love
That's
it.
like
I
a
think
West
that's solid.
Virginia mascot right there.
I was gonna say that looks like a beer league softball team mascot.
Yeah, dude, that's an Ivy League school. Probably the wrong school to do it at.
Keggy the Keg.
Oh, it's Keggy. I thought it was Carrie.
The non-official mascot.
Oh boy.
I like
All
it.
right. Lots of solid choices there. Top 3 college mascots to wrap that up. Let's jump into what we love and know, the NHL. I got a few points, I got a few points here to start off before we jump into the Stanley Cup Finals. Cole Caulfield signed an 8-year extension with the Montreal Canadiens worth an annual value of $7.85 million a year. Montreal Canadiens keeping a piece of their core there with Cole Caulfield. What do you guys think about that extension?
It's a similar contract to Jack Hughes, which is just the thing that pops out to me. That's pretty insane. Does that say more about Jack Hughes being a steal or Cole Caulfield being overpaid?
I think more of the Jack Hughes being a steal. I think Cole Caulfield, what a player, really. Obviously, we saw him get sent down to the AHL, but then when they brought in Marty St. Louis, a guy who played that same type of style, same type of high-end skill, his game really accelerated. So I'm excited to see him move forward with this Canadiens team. They really need someone to lead the way. Kind of hate the Habs, so it kind of sucks to see him stay there. But good American guy from that core group of young guys. What class is that? Maybe like 2021, 2019?
Yeah. He's same age as Jack Hughes.
Yeah. All right. So that class 2019, but a lot of talent there. So not surprising to see that bag come his way.
Yeah, definitely a very
for
talented individual.
Yeah, like I said, not a huge Montreal Canadiens fan, but he's a great player. Anytime, 8 years, almost $8 million a year. He got the bag to stay in Montreal, so good for him. He's definitely one of the top young players in the league. I feel like he gets overlooked because of his size, obviously, but Montreal, they went to the Cup 2 years ago. With say it was a fluke or whatever you want to say, in that COVID year where it kind of got set up for Canadian team to at least get there because of the way the brackets were, but. I don't know that they went from Cup final to the worst team in the league, but they still got guys like him, Suzuki. So I think Montreal could figure things out with St. Louis behind the bench.
Yeah, excited to see what he can really do in like one of his top years. I mean, I could see him as a 40-plus, 50-plus goal scorer maybe at his peak. Exciting to see for sure.
I really like Suzuki, Anderson, Caulfield. I like a lot of their pieces. I just don't like that franchise.
They have an awesome score.
A lot of goal scoring. Just need that goaltender. They're still in limbo after Carey Price walked out on him.
Caulfield won a Hobie Baker in college too. So this guy, he can play hockey. He could be one of the studs of the league. He just definitely got to put on a few pounds. I know he's also a little small, which I can't really do anything about that. But he can definitely be one of the players to look out for in the league.
Similar style of hockey to Connor Bedard.
Definitely going to be a very interesting team to watch there. The Montreal Canadiens signing Cole Caulfield for another 8 years. Another point here. The Columbus Blue Jackets acquire Ivan Provorov. I always want to say provolone. The Columbus Blue Jackets acquire Ivan Provorov in a 3-team trade involving the Philadelphia Flyers, the Los Angeles Kings, and, like I said, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Philadelphia Flyers traded Provorov and forward Hayden Hodgson to Los Angeles in exchange for goalie Cal Peterson, defenseman Sean Walker, defenseman Helge Granz, and the Kings' 2024 second-round pick. Columbus acquired defenseman Kevin, I don't know how to say this, Connaughton, and from Philadelphia in exchange for a 2023 first-round pick and a conditional second-round pick in either the 2024 or 2025 draft. Columbus acquired Provorov from Los Angeles in exchange for Connaughton. A lot of talk there, but overall, Columbus Blue Jackets get Provorov. What do you guys think?
I cannot believe the Flyers are doing this with Cal Peterson and just clearing house with Provorov, and obviously they're shipping Carter Hart as well. Carter Hart's ceiling is way higher than Cal Peterson's, in my opinion. I think Carter Hart's going to go to a contender and he's going to absolutely blow up.
Yeah, Mackie, I mean, you're not wrong with that potential for Carter Hart. Sorry, buddy named Connor Hart. Listens to the pod too. Shout out to him. But Carter Hart, Carter Hart definitely has that ceiling that everybody's been talking about since he was a young prospect. But the thing is, Cal Peterson is going to come in at a much lower price, and I think the Philadelphia Flyers saw what they had with Hart, and they have to blow it up. They didn't gain any traction. They have to redo everything, get in that first-round pick, moving on from Provorov, who wasn't as good as he was supposed to be. I like the direction this team's heading. I mean, I think full rebuild there. Get younger, get everybody out. I like this move by the Flyers there. Everybody else just kind of shuffling the deck. Good ad by the Blue Jackets, though. Not a terrible blue line there with who they have Werenski and now Provorov and a few other names out there. So interesting to see how this pans out.
I just think the Flyers should have built around Carter Hart instead of just clearing absolute house. I mean, obviously, I think that they should clear house. They're a pretty poverty franchise at this point in time, but I think Carter Hart could definitely be a franchise. I know he's a little more expensive, like you said, but you got to spend the money somewhere.
Yeah, while we're on the point, I kind of want to talk about Carter Hart a bit more. Obviously, that move's pretty noteworthy. 3-team deal, don't see that too often. But I really want to hear who you guys think he could end up with. I know they're looking to move him, so it's kind of tough, but a lot of flexibility. You see what these GMs can do, working magic, crunching numbers. So I think he goes to a contender. Someone like the Leafs or the Hurricanes pops into my mind. Maybe the Oilers too, but eager to hear what you guys think about that.
I didn't really think about too many landing spots for Carter Hart. I forget the spot that I said the other day whenever it kind of first popped in my mind. I don't know, Toronto, Edmonton, obviously all those powerhouse teams that are just, we're always sitting there like, yeah, they're a goalie away, or, the goalie just couldn't get the job done again. But I don't know. Carter Hart, obviously, like Mackie said, easily could be one of the best goalies in the NHL. He's still so young and has so much potential ahead of him. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Obviously, it's looking like the Flyers are going to be moving on from him, but like we said, just where he goes, it's going to be interesting. Ace, did you hear anything based on those teams, like what's most likely or anything? I haven't really looked into this too much.
No, kind of under wraps, the reports out there, but definitely traction moving him out of Philadelphia is what I've heard, and I think we all know that's the inevitable now after moving on from Provorov and really blowing up that whole core.
I'd love to see him go to either Edmonton or Toronto, especially there's two teams that have always been a goalie away, even though if Adin Hill wins again this year, obviously being a goalie away isn't the answer. But two teams that everyone has always said you just need a goaltender, or at least the Leafs, or at least the Oilers. So throw a good goaltender like that, and you could see what you could do. He's also a Canadian guy, so I'm sure he wouldn't mind going up north.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day with Edmonton, and I don't know if he'll be the stopgap that gets them through, but he could do better than Jack Campbell. But what were we saying? They always blow up when they get to Edmonton. They get overpaid, and then their career just goes downhill.
He had like 35 good games, and they signed him to a $10 million annual contract. That was the dumbest signing I think they could have done.
Yeah, I agree there, especially after that All-Star campaign. But I agree with you, that Adin Hill statement. I mean, you got to build from the blue line out in today's NHL. Obviously, having a great goaltender helps when he can steal the show, makes up for the deficiencies on the back end. But you look at these teams that win now. Big defensemen, veterans, all-stars, all-world.
Lots of good stuff there. Yeah. Lots about, the Flyers moving on from Provorov and Carter Hart. See what happens with those trades as we move forward here. One more point before we get into the Stanley Cup Finals here. A statistic on Game 1. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Panthers and the Golden Knights on Saturday averaged 2.8 million viewers in the United States across TNT, TBS, and True TV. That is an increase of 11% when compared to average Stanley Cup Final viewership from 2017 to 2021. Second most watched Stanley Cup Final game ever on cable. First being the Carolina Hurricanes and the Detroit Red Wings in 2002, which actually surprised the heck out of me. But crazy stuff there before we jump into the series. Any comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw Gary Bettman on the TNT cast the other day. He had that poking some fun at Biz like everybody loves to do. Saw Connor Bedard and the rest of the draft picks doing the same. But it really speaks volume to those contracts the NHL has been able to getting onto ESPN, getting onto TNT. It brings more eyes to you, easier to access, and better production overall, in my opinion.
For sure. Yeah, I enjoy all the TNT stuff for sure. The ESPN stuff can be a little lackluster at times, but it's good that they have national exposure for every game now.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I don't like the ESPN crew that does the games. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they're half as good as the TNT crew, and I don't even really love Gretzky too much on the panel. I really think Biz, Anson Carter, what's his name, Liam, and then who's the last guy that I'm forgetting? He used to be Rick Tocchet. He was great, but now I just think the original that core that they have at TNT on the panel is so much better than they have at ESPN. I really like the games on there compared to ESPN.
I think the downfall with the ESPN NHL broadcast has more to do with the downfall of the company as a whole. I mean, its heyday was really when we were younger, and that's when NHL was previously when NHL was on ESPN. I think that's when ESPN was at its peak. So I attribute that to the downfall of the company more so. But yeah, TNT, favor that for sure. Gretzky, just a cool name to have, but Huff, you're not wrong. Content is lacking.
He just kind of sits there. It's Lundqvist. That's who I'm forgetting. Mackie,
Yeah.
could you let me forget that? It's your fucking boy.
Yeah, he's Henrik Lundqvist. Everybody loves him too, huh?
Oh, big time. I don't know. That panel is just it's easily likable for sure.
Yeah, Biz Nasty. I mean, that guy's always got something great to say.
Always. And I love when they bring Revo in to mess with them, and Batman comes in, mess with them, Bedard comes in, mess with them. It's all good. all fun
Bedard
stuff.
chirping him is actually all time. Guy's not even in the league yet.
Bernard's gonna be a dog though.
No, yeah, of
Blackhawks
course.
got a good one.
Of course.
Put up more points than Biz did his whole career in the first week of his.
That's not even saying much.
No.
Good stuff there, boys. Let's jump into this Stanley Cup final series. We're through 2 games. Vegas Golden Knights took game 1 of the final by a score of 5-2. Florida struck first, but Vegas' defensive style was able to limit chances for Florida in game 1. Game 2 went much of the same way. Vegas outscoring Florida 7-2 on Monday night. Game 3 here on Thursday. Vegas leading the series 2-0 as we go into game 3. Pretty wild. 2-0 Vegas up in a Stanley Cup final. What do you guys got for me on this series?
Yeah, I definitely didn't see this one coming. I knew obviously Vegas was going to take at least one at home defense, home court, or home ice, I should say. But that game too, I really was expecting the Panthers to bounce back heavy. Bobrovsky looked back like regular season Bobrovsky. He's got to figure something out. I think it's just a little lack of confidence right now. He's in the Stanley Cup. He had one tough game. So it's hard to bounce back for a second game. But, you're going back home now, so you got to figure it out. The lock in. I don't think this series is anywhere close to over, but Vegas definitely has a huge edge in this one.
Yeah, Mac, you're not wrong with Bobrovsky returning to regular season form, and I think the Panthers as a whole did. I saw Andrew Raycroft. He probably said it best. These Panthers look like the Panthers that played for 70 games, the first 70 games of the season, and that's not good for them. We've been talking about how they've been playing playoff hockey for so long. That was probably those last 12 games like he was referring to. And before the Stanley Cup started, maybe they got caught up in the moment too much, or maybe this Vegas Golden Knights team is a lot more experienced and knew the moment, and that home ice is important. But I think they really need to reset going back home if they want to extend this past 4 or 5.
Yeah, and I'll be the one. I was on Vegas both of these games. I like them to defend their home ice and come out to a 2-0 series lead. And Ace, I said that last week. I said I thought at some point this run with Bobrovsky has to come to a stop and lets up 5. I mean, I know he got pulled, but Vegas puts up 5 goals in both games, more than 5 in game 2. I like them in both games. I'm glad I did. And coming back to Florida, I agree. It's a whole different series, but I hate to say it. I don't think Vegas is going to lose 2 straight at any point of this series. So I think we're going to be going back to Vegas game 5, 3-1.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening, but I'm kind of hoping what I alluded to last week comes to fruition. I thought the series would be a series of swings and teams would get hot, and the Florida Panthers need to strike first early in game 3 and get that momentum going their way, and maybe they can win 1. Even if they win 2, that'd be perfect, right? But even if they can win 1 and get this to a 3-1 series going back, there's at least some life. And they've had their backs against the door in a 3-1 series before. We saw them do it against the best regular season team in NHL history. No slouches there. And Paul Maurice knows. Matt Tkachuk even said it. You remember the quote after game 4 when they lost? He said, "We're going back. We'll be back here in Florida." And that's what they did. And then they came back to Boston, won again. So I wouldn't sleep on this team. This game 3 is massive, massive, massive. Matthew Tkachuk needs to stick to putting pucks in the back of the net and not going into the penalty box. I think that's probably one of the biggest things. But this Vegas team has come to play. Bruce Cassidy has them rolling.
Yeah, they're setting the tone, and then there's just being stupid, and he's just not spending enough time on the ice. And that's been the problem here. But yeah, Ace, I think you have a lot of good points there. This team's had their backs against the walls multiple times, whether it was in the regular season or the first round of the playoffs. But they just got to figure it out. Big guys got to step up. Tkachuk, Verhaeghe, Reinhardt, guys, it's got to, they got to put the puck in the back of the net. They got to win some hockey.
Yeah, I think one thing that's surprising to me is how much physicality the Golden Knights have brought to the Panthers. We talked about how fast and physical Florida was playing throughout this whole stretch run, and it seems like Vegas is initiating the contact. I know they're a big team, and that's the brand of hockey they play, but a bit surprised that the speed and the tenacity of the Florida Panthers has been non-existent so far.
And what's impressed me the most for Vegas is we've known they're a big team, and obviously they don't really have, like, they have the true superstar in Eichel, I guess you'd say, is like their guy. Bringing him in, that's not really, like, he hasn't been there. He's not really a part of that culture. Is this his first season there, correct?
Correct.
Halfway through
he
last
played a half.
season.
He played a half.
Okay,
His
well,
first full season, first off season, first full season.
It's just their depth is what impresses me going into each of these games. Like 7 goals last game. I think their fourth line had 2 of them. Third line had 1. Like, they're getting goals from the third and fourth line on night in and night out basis in the Stanley Cup final, and that's exactly what you need to win a cup, and they're buzzing. Right now, they look really good, and like I said, I think they go back to Vegas 3-1. Florida, I'm still sticking with my Vegas and 6 pick. I think, like you said, Ace, I think Florida wins tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
No,
Yeah,
Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It is
So I think Florida wins game 3. Vegas wins game 4. Florida wins game 5. Vegas wins the cup in game 6 in Florida.
on the road. Yeah, I think I've been talking a little too much about the Panthers not performing well enough. Vegas has been absolutely incredible. This team wants it more than anything. You know those 6 players that have been there since that inaugural season. They know they want it bad. Obviously, they have a stud behind the bench with Bruce Cassidy. So they have all the pieces. Aiden Hill's playing out of his mind, playing like one of the best goaltenders in the league. So they have all the pieces put together right now. So they just need 2 more wins, 2 more before they get 4 more. So they are in a very good spot, and you can't say they don't deserve it.
I put which team will win the series? Vegas. Series exact games 6. How many total goals will be in the series? I did under 33.5. I'm not loving that with these first 2 games. How many total overtime goals will there be in the series? I did over 1.5.
I did under on that one.
So I need some overtime games.
You'll get at least one of the next 2.
Yeah, I think one of these games in Florida goes overtime. Which player leads the series in total goals? I did any other outcome out of Tkachuk, Verhaeghe, Barkov, Eichel, Marchessault, and Stone. Basically just hoping one of the depth players for Vegas does it.
I think Marchessault got it right now.
Marchessault has it right
For
now.
sure.
Which player leads the series in total points? I put Tkachuk. I don't think that's looking too great. Will there be at least one shutout by either team in any game of the series? Yes. Will any game have at least 10 goals scored? No.
But no,
I think.
Became really
I think
down
last
close.
one was
Yeah.
9. Will any player record a hat trick in any game of the series? No. Which player will win the Conn Smythe? Aiden Hill.
What's Aiden Hill's odds right now? It's got to be between Marchessault and Aiden Hill right now.
It's between Marchessault and Aiden Hill.
One of them has got to be.
What did we say about that long shot Eden Hill plus 1,200 starting goaltender of the favored team coming into the series?
Aiden Hill plus 500, Marchessault minus 105.
I was going to say Marchessault's probably minus.
That's crazy to me.
If Aiden Hill stands on his head in the 2 games that Vegas wins, like 2 shutties,
Dude, if they sweep and he lights it up, 100%. 100%.
I think the only reason they wouldn't is because they turn away from him after like only half of a run, I guess, 2/3 of a run, maybe.
But he's played the entire playoffs.
like Marchessault could go ice
No, he
cold,
didn't
and Vegas
start.
could still win this series, in my opinion.
He didn't start.
Who
It
did?
was Laurent Brissot.
It had to be like the first 2 games.
No, he beat Winnipeg. Remember, he was their
Yeah, he beat
backup, and they were
Winnipeg.
chanting backup in Winnipeg, and he beat them.
I remember that.
No, I don't. No.
I
Yeah,
watched. I'm not kidding. I watched almost
Yeah,
every Vegas
it's
playoff game this year.
It's really tough to give it to Aiden. I thought he played the entire playoffs.
No, but he's had a great run ever since that injury. But to touch a few more points on this series, what's crazy to me about the Panthers, again, Mackey's right. I'm talking about them losing so much, not the Vegas Golden Knights winning. Not to take away from their credit, but is the 3 best players coming into the series, in my eyes, were Matthew Tkachuk, Sergei Bobrovsky, and Radko Gudas, best defenseman, having the most impact on the game with the physicality he brings. And they've been the 3 worst players in this series for the Florida Panthers. Maybe not the worst overall, but their performance has been lackluster, to say the least. And they really need to pick it up if the Panthers want to have a chance to go. It's crazy to me, but this game 3 tomorrow night is going to be massive. Excited to watch that.
Did you just say best 3 players in the series or on the Panthers?
On the Panthers.
Oh, I was going to say, you don't have Jack Eichel in your top 3 players in the series.
No. Well, yeah, Gudas isn't even like the third best player on the Panthers, but I'm saying the most impact on this run so far.
He got
Yeah,
trucked.
maybe that's why they're down 2-0, because those 3 players are just not stepping up. Gudas
Oh yeah,
just-
no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's the complete reason they've done a 180.
Jesse,
but-
I want to hear your picks. Go through your prize pool.
All right. So for mine, give a little preface. I definitely went with the seniority of things with Bobrovsky. I thought he was really going to come out and just kind of not put a stop to this Vegas run, but definitely kink in it. So I said Florida to win the series in 6.
62% of our entries had Florida.
You're right, 62.26%, pretty darn impressive.
That shocks me.
And then, like I said, 6 games, under 33.5 total goals in the series, under 1.5 total overtime goals in the series. I said Kachuk for leading the series in total goals, which, like you said, we're not looking good on. Lead the
But
series.
if you win the series, that there's a good chance that comes back to.
Right, but I don't know. We'll see. And then lead the series in total points. I took Eichel. I thought he was going to come back after having a rough series last series, but not looking good there either. Will there be at least one shutout? I said no. Will there be at least 10 goals scored in any game? No. Will any player record a hat trick in the series? No. I took Kachuk to win the Conn Smythe, but I don't like that very much anymore. It wasn't a solid pick on my part, that's for sure. But
Yeah, ours are like so opposite in the 6
Yeah.
games.
for sure, I don't mind it. But
yeah, I wish I
definitely
did.
some good results from that DraftKings prize pool. Lots to look forward to with that. Looking for someone solid to win. I'm curious who's going to win. I don't know. None of the
Hayden
points
Hill's
get added
gonna
up
get 2
until the
straight.
end, so
Hayden Hill's going to get 2 shutouts and win the Conn Smythe.
I like that. That'd be wild.
I just
Two
hope
zero-
come this time next week
2-0
we're still talking about the
games.
game,
Yeah, me
talking
too.
about the series. Extend this, Florida. Come on.
Stanley Cup Finals. We're bound to see some crazy stuff happen. It's going to be a good wrap up this series.
I don't think this ends in a sweep. Put it that way.
Do you see any value in Panthers series win?
I don't.
I do, 100%. I see value. Wait, what's still on?
I got for you a second. I put it on our breaking news yesterday. Tune into our socials if you don't see that. But
There's like plus 400.
plus 400, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see value, and I think that's the best you'll get it at if you ever want to buy in on it.
Yeah,
I think you'll get a better price at 3-1
I
going
don't
back to
think- I
Vegas.
don't think you want to take it at 3-1. That's what I'm saying.
I think Mackey's 3U play from game 2 is going to be carried over to game 3 this game. I'll 3 with you this time, Mackey, if you want to take
I
the
don't
Cats
think
at
I'm
home.
doing that. I don't think I could ever throw 3 units on this team again.
Really? I mean, I think
That was
Huff's even saying, Huff, Mr. Vegas Golden Knight himself, Mr. I got something in my drink in Vegas, turned into a Jack Eichel, Jonathan Marchessault stand. Even he's saying the Panthers win game 3. That means I'm riding it. I like the Panthers at home. They got to get one. Like, how fired up are the boys going to be? It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I do. I am leaning Florida in game 3 for sure.
It'll be interesting. Game 3, pivotal game in the series for the Florida Panthers if they want
I'd like it to go to
extend it.
overtime. Give me a little overtime game so my prize pool can get some fucking action.
We'll see.
Alrighty, let's shift our focus over to the NBA. I have some breaking news here from today. Chris Paul has been released by the Phoenix Suns, making him a free agent this summer. Paul stated that he intends on playing a few more years and prefers to sign with the contender. We got to plan on seeing Chris Paul pop up somewhere, but where do you guys see him ending up?
I personally don't think he should play a few more years. I think maybe 1 at best. Maybe go a year-by-year situation at this point of his career. I don't think he has too much left in the tank. That's just me, but I don't know. The spots that I said, I feel like he's just it's Chris Paul. He's just ring chasing at this point. So like Milwaukee, Philly, any of these big time teams that kind of have a gap at a guard position. But I don't know. Like he's not going to come in and be a top of the role. You know what I mean? Top point guard. Like he didn't get the job done with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant in Phoenix. Obviously, KD just got there, but I mean, the list goes on and on with Chris Paul. I mean, Mackie, I'll let you kind of take over. I know your opinion on him.
Mackie just said retirement home. Let it be known when we asked this question earlier today.
I don't like Chris Paul. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's because he's really short. He is ring chasing 100%. That's why he went to the Suns and he didn't get it done this year. And they literally just said, "You're done. You don't have any more chances." 2019, they had a parade for a Western Conference Finals championship. Like, okay, relax. And then they got beat like 4-1 in the championship. But I just send him out of the league. You know, Saudi Arabia is trying to get in the NBA now too. So send him over to Saudi Arabia. Give him $100 million.
You don't think he'd rather go play with Dwight Howard?
Oh, he can do that too. But I don't think he'll be making the money that those Saudis will give you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Chris Paul fan like yourself, but I still think he has a big place in this league. Gets buckets, helps move the ball around, veteran experience. He's been in the playoffs a lot. A lot of teams out there are looking for something like this, especially if he can play the right role for you. I mean, why wouldn't you take the chance on him? I think someone like the Philadelphia 76ers come to mind, Huff. I thought that was a good landing spot for him. Maybe someone like the Cleveland Cavaliers, a young team on the come up that needs some guidance. That's kind of just right there. New York Knicks come to mind too. But how about this? What if he went back to the LA Clippers?
Be interesting. I don't know if it would work.
They just lose again.
Yeah, second round exit again.
He's a type of guy, after he retires, he's going to talk so much about how that trade got vetoed in LA that one year. He's going to be like,
that is so crazy, though. That is so crazy.
He would have had 3 championships, 4, maybe even 5.
Yeah,
bro, you would have found a way to fuck it up every time like you do every time.
Nah, him and Kobe in his prime would have been electric.
It wasn't Kobe's prime, dude. It was wasn't it like 2013?
It was right after he won a championship, isn't it?
Well, his last championship was 2010.
I don't think it was that late. I thought it was like right after he won.
Oh no,
I think it was 2011, the year the trade was supposed to go down.
Okay, if it was
I thought they won and they were gonna start rolling.
Yeah, but then wasn't it like Steve Nash and like Dwight Howard too? Dwight Howard was ass at that point.
No, that was a long time
the
after.
year
That was
after
like 2014.
Yeah, and Dwight just went to shit in LA.
I love Dwight Howard. Was my favorite.
The first time he won a ring. The second time, remember that?
Dwight Howard was it was the second time, yeah, but you know, playing a massive bench role on that one.
Big role though. Remember that run? He had a good role there.
Okay, he had a decent role, yeah.
Off the bench?
Yeah,
that's how they beat the Warriors, right?
You know, when you're gonna think of Dwight Howard, you're gonna think of 2009 in Orlando. You're not gonna think of he won a championship with LeBron and AD.
No, you're not wrong, but he'll definitely think of that.
Right about that.
But yeah, Chris Paul, interesting to see him get waived though. I mean, if he was under contract, wouldn't you think you'd try to move him? But big deal. I think too much money on the table. Just let him go. They weren't winning with him, so they can bring in. I think Phoenix needs a younger guy, and Chris Paul needs to go somewhere where he can be that mentor. So maybe in a Kyle Lowry type role for the Cavaliers.
Who do you think is going to take his role?
Unsure. I mean, that's to be seen, but there's someone young that could come out and play in that spot. I don't think they're going old there. I don't think you need another superstar on that team.
The team's also not the youngest.
No, they got to build their depth around KD and Booker, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if DeAndre Ayton's on his way out as well.
No, their coach has only said high things about them. That
I was gonna say they've been big on him because that was the one talk. Is he on the way out this offseason if he didn't do good these playoffs? And obviously he didn't have a good playoff, so there's a lot of people bringing that up. But
it's Frank Vogel, isn't it? He's in your group.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that hire. You go from was it Monty Williams to Frank Vogel? It's a downgrade in my opinion.
I don't like the hire either, but he was saying how DeAndre Ayton is going to be one of the best centers in the league this year. So I don't think ship him.
I do like that theory, though. I mean, obviously not a big fan of Vogel as a coach. I mean, regardless of his accolades, but he does get those bigs involved well, so that might be beneficial for Ayton, who was a number 1 pick, number 2 pick, lottery pick to say the least.
He was 4th, I think. Oh no, he was 1st overall, I think.
Yeah, but I just DeAndre Ayton. Yeah. Interesting to see though. I'm sure we'll follow this throughout the summer. I'm guessing there's a good market, a lot of suitors for Chris Paul.
very curious to see where Chris Paul ends up after the Phoenix Suns released him today. I believe, here on Wednesday. Let's jump into this NBA final. The Denver Nuggets defeated the Miami Heat 104-93 to take a 1-0 series lead in the final. Jokic had a triple-double in the Game 1 win. The Heat then responded in Game 2 as an 8.5-point underdog, winning Game 2 outright by a score of 111-108. Series is now tied 1-1, heading back to South Beach. Miami now owns home court in the series. Game 3 here tonight as we are recording. Game 4 on Friday. Where do we see this series ending up here? 1-1 going into Game 3 in Miami. What do you think, Ace?
This Miami Heat team, dude, what a different type of team, especially in today's NBA. Like, we were just talking about the Suns. That's a super team, and that's what they revolve around, like most of the NBA. This Miami Heat team, we've been talking about it the whole time, is just old school basketball, depth, coaching, like culture, like Huff said before. I mean, it's incredible to watch, and I honestly didn't think they had too much of a chance to. I took them to win the series more so on the value than actually believing it, but it's crazy that they're right there. Now they're going back home with a best of 5, and they have the advantage.
Yeah, and obviously I like them to win Game 3 tonight. The 3-point underdog. I mean, it's a pretty close line. A lot of money on Denver. I'm definitely riding with them or Miami to take a 2-1 series lead, and then I think we're gonna have an interesting Game 4 situation. I do think they go back to Denver Game 5, 2-2, evened up. Gonna be a best of 3. Denver will get the home court back. As far as the series pick, this is a very interesting finals and how it's worked out. Obviously, the way Denver won Game 1, it looked like they were kind of going to dominate in Game 2 and continue that. The Heat just love to stick around in games. Once they get down 10 to 12 points late in the third or early in the fourth quarter, they are never out of these games. Like Ace said, the coaching, the team, the culture, the way they play, it's truly just team basketball, and the way they get back in these games so fast, and they'll go on these runs, a 17-4 run, an 18-5 run, that it puts them right back in a game as an 8.5-point underdog. I said it last week. When you're getting this team at plus 300 money line in Denver, there's value every single time. And I said I was probably going to take it one of the games in Denver. I didn't, but I said it was definitely worth it, and I wish I did, because you could have taken them both. You still won about over 1.8 units, I think, if you took them both. But I mean, still crazy. But like I said, I think it goes back to Denver for Game 5, tied 2-2. Ace, I'm interested to see what you think. Obviously, I think we're all on the Heat tonight, but how you think the rest of the series is going to go?
Yeah, no, I'll kick it over to Mackie shortly, but I just want to jump in and give a few points. You've been having some success betting the series game by game, which is kind of what we said with both these final rounds in the Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals. And you hit on that large spread with the Denver Nuggets in Game 1. Didn't play anything Game 2, probably because you were scared about those Miami Heat doing what they just did. And now you're jumping on the dog, even though they're at home, which I like a lot. I think this team basketball that we're speaking about really speaks volume to the way this team's put together. The depth has been shining throughout the playoffs. Last year's it was Caleb Martin. Game 2 it was Max Strus. I mean, there's guys throughout the lineup. Duncan Robinson could do the same exact thing. The way they shoot the ball is great on the outside. Size on defense. They have legs too. Can play both in and out. Bam Adebayo really stepping up too. We've kind of tooted his horn a bit throughout this playoff run, but he's one of the top centers in the NBA, and he's proving it once again. Tough task, tall task. I mean, kind of getting bullied by Jokic, but who doesn't? But he's still having an impact on the game, and that's why it's a tied series going back to Miami.
He really is holding his own in there with Jokic. He watching Jokic play is actually phenomenal. I love watching him play. I think he's doing some things that I've only seen out of 2018 LeBron. But these role players from Miami, out of control. Gabe Vincent, highest scorer on score sheet last game. I think it was 27 points. These guys are hitting threes like it's nothing. Duncan Robinson, obviously, 3 massive threes in the matter of 2.5 minutes, I think, last game. These runs that this team goes on, they can't be stopped. And even a timeout, they come out and they still have the same amount of energy. Like you said, this culture, this Heat culture that they have is just absolutely something we've never seen before, because there's I think there's probably 10 teams in the league that are better than them this year. But you see them here because they have the most heart. They work the best together, and they want it. They're coached very well. So they're sitting here 1-1 coming home. playing game 3 at home as they're still 3-point underdogs. I don't know how you can't see the value on this team and just take it. They got that dog in them. They really do. And I know they're playing the best player in the world, but the Nuggets are struggling right now. They have a lot going on in that locker room. So,
Gabe Vincent, like you said, he's been massive, dude.
Dude, all of them. Caleb Martin, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson. These guys are just playing out of their mind. It's insane. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo are just doing what they need to do. And it's all coming together.
I think tonight's the game we get the Jimmy Butler game. I heard someone today say the Himmy hasn't himmed yet, and I'm like, okay, I like that. I can talk myself into Jimmy going off and having a classic Jimmy Butler 30-point performance. But I like if the Heat are going to win this game, obviously you said it, all the role players need to do what they've been doing. But I think this is the game Jimmy goes off at home, game 3.
I saw something.
I can see that too.
I saw something that was like his first 9 games of the playoffs, he averaged like 34 points a game. And his last time, he averaged like 22. And that 9th game was when Josh Hart stepped on his ankle. So it's definitely his ankle's bothering him. We got to know he's injured right now. So I wouldn't count on him just going off any game, but he can at any point in any moment. He can go on a 10-0 run by himself, pop off 40 points whenever he wants. So yeah, we're all waiting for it. So it's going to be a really good game tonight.
I saw the reason I said 30. I saw he was plus 240 to put up 30 tonight. I'm like, kind of like that.
Dude, he's averaging 17 points in the finals right now.
I know.
Yeah, that
coming home
speaks to the depth. I like that Gabe Vincent play that Mackey was talking about. He had an impact on that Celtics series. We saw the Celtics kind of fight back when he was out with that injury. The thing is, he's their true slasher on the team. He can get to the basket. He's quick. All those other guys are big on the outside. They bang a lot of threes. I know Kyle Lowry's used to be like that, but he's really showing his explosiveness. I'd like to talk about the Denver Nuggets for a second, though. I mean, heavy favorites to still win the series.
Yeah, and obviously there's, good reason to think that. Like, I just think, I don't know, a 3-point underdog. I said Denver coming back. I just feel like Mackie said, this team is too good to be. They shouldn't be favored in this game. That's for sure. They should be the underdog. Like, I think we all agree on that. But I just think there's too much value, even at plus 135, to get this team as an underdog at home.
I don't really agree. I don't think that they should really be an underdog. I just think that, you make this line even and it's just way too much value for Denver bettors, I think. But I don't see why a team like Miami, who has one playoff loss at home this entire postseason, should be underdogs in the NBA Finals the way that they're playing, especially after stealing one on the road.
This is the chance that Vegas is giving Miami. If Vegas wins, or if Miami wins this game, I think it's a 1-point spread in game 4.
Alrighty, let's jump over to the NFL. The NFL is investigating Indianapolis Colts cornerback and kick returner Isaiah Rodgers for possible violations of the league's gambling policy. Sportsbook account was opened under the name of an associate of Rodgers. Sources said approximately 100 bets were placed on the account over an undisclosed amount of time, including on Colts games. The source said most of the bets were in the $25 to $50 range, although there was at least one low four-figure bet. Rodgers, a 6th-round pick, is entering his final year of a 4-year, $3.4 million contract with the Colts. What do you guys think about this one? Another player here, going under.
Yeah, I think Calvin. I think they can all thank Calvin Ridley for this one, because ever since that happened, it just seems like they're starting to get one or two guys every couple months, and it's happening more than what they've already busted and what they've already found. But I don't know. He's not like a huge name, but I'm surprised to see that big of a contract for him. But we'll see what happens with this. They're definitely going to get more people. There's only a matter of time.
Yeah, they're cracking down on this. I've actually never heard of this guy before, but $25 units? Come on, man. You make $1 million a year. I throw more than $25 units.
Yeah, the only reason I've known this guy is because I play Madden, kind of alluding to Jesse's next point. But he's one of those guys you get because he's like young, super fast, like 92 speed, and he's got that deal like $3.5 million. So it's like, yeah, we'll take him and let him play in our depth secondary. But in real life, he's not too big of a name.
Yeah.
Tough scene though for the kid.
They're definitely going to keep getting guys.
I wonder how they track that back. Like, how can you prove that he's making those bets?
Deposits into
it's
accounts.
Under an associate.
Eventually, probably just deposits and like money trace.
Yeah, eventually probably just gets like sick of sending him the money and just deposits it himself or something.
The Venmo description.
Could be an address.
DraftKings at sports bets.
An address the winnings are being sent to, or an address the accounts associated with is owned by him, and that's how they cracked on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're gonna do it,
definitely
come on, man, be a little smarter.
yeah. If you're gonna do it, just go to the casino, put it in yourself, and grab the ticket. That way they can't track it.
Except for cameras.
No, yeah, but have someone else just do that for you. Just don't do anything mobile.
I mean, yeah, you definitely have a better chance doing the way you just said.
Hey, so you've thought about this a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, because when I go to the NHL, that's what I'm gonna do.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're preparing for something. You're
Yep.
training.
Your year 28 season.
Yeah,
Never too late.
Never too late. I got another point here that Ace alluded to. Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen was named the cover athlete for Madden 24, releasing here in August of 2023. So pretty big news there. Ace, what do you got on this one?
I gotta do a slow clap like Mackie there, because that means that the Bills are gonna get the Madden curse. Can't wait to see the Josh Allen wagon go down in flames. Poverty
You don't-
franchise. Yeah,
You
they're
don't-
gonna come
you
in
don't
third
need
or
'em.
fourth in the division.
You don't need a Madden curse in the Bills. They don't win anyway.
Yeah, but maybe a Madden curse in the regular season will help out. Let the Patriots and the Dolphins make the playoffs. That joke of a franchise, the New York Jets, is still going to be in the bottom of the barrel. And the Buffalo Bills let too many of their depth pieces go to attain their success, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of surprised that I kind of thought for some reason I knew they were waiting for Josh Allen or a Joe Burrow cover, but I thought after the NFC Championship last year, I thought they were going to go with the Jalen Hurts on the cover.
Yeah, I know. And Josh Allen, didn't he lead the league in turnovers last year?
Didn't have
Yeah.
his best year.
He has the most since like 2019.
Yeah,
Hey,
was
some
thinking
blank.
Texans.
He was on the cover last year.
last year was. That's a good question. I don't even know because they don't sell the games anymore. You have to buy them digitally.
Yeah, like it doesn't stick in my head as much.
It also rotates. They update the cover athlete from
Jesse, can you look up Madden 20 through 23, the covers?
Patrick Mahomes has been on. I know that. But yeah,
Mahomes was 19.
I
Or
mean
no,
Josh
AB
Allen,
was 19,
20.
Mahomes 20.
20.
Brady, the
AB
goat,
with
the
the
goat
Steelers
edition,
was 19. That was a
the
sick cover.
goat, the goat edition Brady.
Madden 23 was John Madden.
Oh yeah,
It was
Okay,
called Madden.
Okay, it wasn't a player. That makes sense.
22 was the MVP edition with Tom Brady and Patrick
goat
Mahomes.
Oh,
edition.
that one was cool.
Yeah,
I hate when you do two people.
21.
It's such a cop out.
21's MVP edition with Lamar Jackson.
I remember that. Yeah.
20
good,
is
yeah.
Superstar edition with Pat Mahomes again.
19
Uh,
AB.
And 19 AB.
yeah. I mean, honestly, we're hating on Josh Allen pretty heavily here. He's clear cut
I
two or
hate Josh Allen.
top three quarterback in the NFL. Though when it all comes down to it, bias aside everywhere, it's Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen's league. That's just the way it is. Obviously, a lot of people have differing opinions on how they play out, but you can see it. He does it with his arms. He does it with his legs. He can throw it 60 miles. He trucks people over. Yeah, well deserved.
I'm just
Yeah,
glad
he-
I don't have to buy a Madden video game with Joe Burrow on the cover. That's all I'm happy about.
I respect Josh Allen, but he's not top two. I'd probably put him at 3.
Yeah, for sure. Those three are light
I
years ahead of him.
really thought it was going to be Jalen Hurts.
You didn't think he was gonna beat Deshaun Watson?
Do you see the Madden 24 charges?
Yeah, right.
Like,
The extra
It was like in front of-
charges edition.
it was him in a suit in front of a courthouse. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, that's a good cover. We saw that picture, the deluxe edition, him in the crowd. That's a sick picture.
Yeah, it's definitely fresh for sure.
But I never really get the deluxe editions because I'm not a big Ultimate Team guy. So
Agreed.
just get the basic boy.
Yeah, and like I said, you don't even get the hard case anymore. So what's the point of even doing a Madden cover?
I do still have the disc on my PlayStation. And I still buy the physical games when I can.
You know what I miss is the days of when you got a game and you pre-ordered and you got something with it. NBA 2K, I got that Kobe painting up from pre-ordering it. That's sick. Miss those days.
And
I
isn't
remember
it so, isn't it so funny that with the digital games, there's still people pre-ordering them
Yeah, it's nuts.
for no reason?
Yeah.
Early access.
You're not going to get it any
No, they get early access.
for early access, yes, but you can still buy it like a day before the early access.
Yeah, doesn't make sense
The
to me.
pre-order. You know, it was great when there was special benefits, like you got like the GTA game, you got the huge map in it, like
DLC
iconic
maps,
little pieces,
like
so, yeah,
credits,
exactly.
anything. Now they just get like MUT packs and HUT packs for pre-ordering it.
You get an email of 10 codes.
Yeah.
You got to decipher what does what.
It's exciting to the Fortnite generation.
So for real, right? Alrighty, boys. Lots of good stuff there in the NFL. That Madden video game coming out August 2023, but let's jump into the MLB this week. First, we have our power rankings for this past week, the week of June 6th. At number 5, we have the Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 4, the Houston Astros. Number 3, the Baltimore Orioles. Number 2, the Texas Rangers. And coming in at number 1 yet again, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Wagon.
Slightly different. Yeah, a little bit. Slightly different there on the order this week, but you guys got any comments on that one?
What a week for Mac to wear a Braves hat.
Yeah, first week out, right?
Yeah, first week out.
Yeah, the Rays are holding steady, man. I mean, I thought they would fall off a little by now, but no, they're holding that one spot. They have no reason to not be there. So, that team's really rolling. And obviously, the Rangers and the Orioles have been wagons as well. 2 teams out of the NL East, or AL East, I should say. Obviously the best division in baseball. Ace is kind of suffering down there with a winning record in 5th place, but
still overachieving.
Yeah, but those Yankees right outside the top 5, and I'd say those D-backs as well. I think those are the 2 teams that just missed it. But
how good is that
not bad.
Rangers team? I mean, every night I look at the scoreboard, it's a crooked number.
Dude, it's the batting, it's the hitting. They hit the ball so well. 16 runs one night, 8 runs the next. Like even 8 runs is really good, and they put up 8 runs after 16. And it looks like nothing, but that team can hit the ball.
Yep, they were put together well last year. Kind of took a little while to adjust, and now they're really coming into their own. That lineup hitting 1 through 9, everybody contributing. It's great to see. Like watching those Texas Rangers. Been there once. Pretty cool stadium down in Arlington.
Yeah, it's fun baseball.
Next point I got here in the MLB, Jacob deGrom will have surgery to repair a tear in his right ulnar collateral ligament, also known as Tommy John surgery, cutting short his first season with the American League West, leading Texas Rangers after signing a 5-year, $185 million deal this past offseason. Big loss there for the Rangers with deGrom and the Tommy John surgery. Any comments on that one?
I feel for him, man. This sucks. I mean, I'm happy the the Mets got rid of him, because obviously you don't want to pay this guy all the money for him to go on the IL for the entire year. But this sucks. I mean, he could have been maybe the best pitcher of all time. He was for 3 years there. He was definitely the most dominant pitcher of all time. And it sucks because when you're throwing 100 miles per hour every 5th day for 162 games, I mean, some things are gonna go wrong. So. I mean, it was cool while it lasted, but I don't think he'll be the same.
Yeah, I mean, Mackie, you can probably speak on that better than anybody. Just disappointment with those injury concerns. But those Rangers are going to keep rolling regardless. Nate Eovaldi's turned into that ace that they desperately needed. So what a turnout he's been for them.
Heaney's been good as well for them, too. Their rotation stepped it right up. Michael Perez has been great, too. That team, they're getting run support through the roof. So me and you could fucking pitch probably, and they're going to put up 12 runs. But, I don't know. The rotation that they're getting, is it more? Hey, I thought I fucked that up. But, I don't know. They're like you said, when you lose a guy like deGrom that you pay $185 million to, and you're expecting to come in and be this, your top guy, they're not showing any signs of slowing down.
No, not at all. But you got to feel for Jacob deGrom. Such a great pitcher, one of the best arms in the league, but clearly not one of the best arms to have on your body.
I was going to say, you look at the injury report, that says otherwise.
Dude, imagine they had him. They're 40-20 right now without the best pitcher in the world.
You think these Rangers can hold on and keep that division and steal it away from the Astros?
Definitely. I think the Astros are struggling this year. I don't really think they're as good as they've been in past years.
Been a little dinged up. They've been dinged up.
This Rangers team, I think, is just simply better.
I'm not gonna lie. I was putting together a little futures parlay the other day, and I got the Astros plus 400 to win the AL.
Yeah, I like that Astros team. Yordan Alvarez is one of the best players in the league.
To win the American League, yes.
I think that's a better bet than for them to win the AL West.
Vision. Yeah, you're not wrong, Mac, because you get a little bit of leeway of just getting in, and once they're there, we know how good they can be.
Once they're there, you know how good they can be, exactly. And we know they'll be there.
Yeah, it's kind of a boat race with the Rangers right now, though. They might have one of those crazy seasons where they put up 110 plus.
Yeah. Astros gonna win 100 games, still not win the division.
Yeah, but you don't want to see Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve come playoff time.
Framber Valdez.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a Cy Young.
He's a Cy Young candidate for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough one there for the Rangers and DeGrom. So hopefully a quick recovery throughout this season here for him. Next point I have here is one of the MLB's top prospects. I'm going to mess this up.
Elly De La Cruz.
Elly De La Cruz made his highly anticipated debut on Tuesday for the Reds. His debut was highlighted by a 112-mile-per-hour double. He crushed to center field in the Reds' comeback win over the Dodgers. He joins a very young lineup that is flexing its muscles as of late this season. Can this team make some noise in the NL as we dive deeper and deeper into this season? Cincinnati Reds, what do you guys think?
I mean, I'm so hyped to watch him play. I know just tonight while we're recording, he crushed that home run. Mackie, what'd you say, 400? How far?
458, I think.
458. I mean, the way he hits the balls.
Insane.
Even when he was a prospect, though, number 4 prospect in the MLB system, even in the minor leagues, he was crushing balls at that high hit rate. So you know it was going to translate over to the MLB. But I love that lineup. They have protection around him, too. He's a left, he's a switch hitter, which is crazy to me. But guys like Matt McLean, rookie shortstop, been going off lately. Jonathan India, that second baseman, he's very good. Stevenson, their catcher. They have Jake Fraley. They have a lot of other guys in their system, too. They have another first baseman power hitter that's on their way up. Their prospect pool is deep, but they just got to figure out that pitching. Got a few guys showing some life, but in one of the weaker divisions in the league, I think give them a year or two and they might be contending for the division.
Not this year, though.
No pitching, but they can hit the ball. They put up runs every night. Look at those overs when they're playing, for sure. Exciting team to watch right now. Exciting win the other night over the Dodgers, that 9-8 comeback. They were up 8-3. I don't know if you guys happen to check that one out. Right now they're in another high-scoring matchup with the Dodgers, 6-3 currently, but they can hit the ball.
Yeah, solid stuff there from a young Reds roster. Lots to look forward to as we get deeper into the season, like I said. Next point is Luis Arraez batting .401 average and Marcus Semien,
Pause.
Just fucked. I can't speak.
Pause.
Alexander Seaman.
Oh, damn. Yeah, shut up him fucking music out.
Marcus Semien, 25 with a 25-game hit streak so far this year, has us wondering which feat is more impressive, batting that point, over a 400 average over the full season, or a 56-game hit streak if he continues, going on this streak.
Definitely batting 401, in my opinion. That's absolutely incredible. The longevity, dude. If you're batting over 400 and you go 3 for 5, you're lowering your average. That's
wrong. That's wrong.
2 for 5. 2 for 5. Yeah. You go 2 for 5.
No, you're not lowering it. You're not lowering it at 2 for 5 either. You're keeping it the same.
No, if it's over 400, I said.
Yeah, 2 for 5 is 400. Yeah.
Exactly. So you're lowering it, which is insane. You go 2 for 5. That's a good game.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
To do that over a 162 game season, I think that's absolutely incredible. Obviously, I don't think he's going to do this for 162 games, but he'll definitely finish high threes, which is still pretty impressive.
Yeah, first ballot All-Star, in my opinion. Should get that start for the National League at second base. And really, Mike, you were talking about it before the episode, sparking that Marlins team, and they've been winning a lot of games, surprising a lot of people. What's crazy to me is on paper, he doesn't have much protection around him, so I don't know why you would even pitch to him that much, but Jorge Soler, Brian De La Cruz, brother of Elly, who just made his debut, these guys have been playing good baseball. They've been mashing, and that's probably contributed to some of the success Arias is having. And remember the price they paid to get Arias. They gave out Pablo Lopez, one of the best young arms in the league, to the Twins. He just had that batting title last year, too, Arias, I believe, for the Twins.
Yeah.
Alrighty, a couple more points here in the MLB. After a 22-year career, Albert Pujols is joining the league office as a special assistant to the commissioner. He's also the newest MLB Network analyst. Congrats, Albert. One of 4 players with 700 career home runs, so just a continuation of his already monumental career.
Yeah,
Great stuff there.
The Reds
What's that?
tied it up.
Wow.
Yeah, they can mash. They can mash. They can't pitch.
I got one more point here, which is a rather not so great one. Multiple MLB games have been postponed due to the poor air quality stemming from the Canadian wildfires. For everyone's sake, we hope this clears up sooner rather than later. As much as flights going into all the New York and New Jersey airports have been having delays, diversions, all different sorts of things. So these wildfires are definitely causing some commotion in the northeastern United States. I know Mackie and Ace both said that the clouds and the air is just foggy as hell, which is crazy to think about. In Huff, only just 4.5 hours south of Mackie, nothing. I don't see anything.
Yeah,
How
I
about
don't
you,
see
Huff?
nothing.
You got to be happy
No.
the wind's blowing that way east, huh? But yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of what California goes through quite often. So East Coast really dealing with that. Hate to see it. Even saw the Phillies game get postponed today, which is crazy to me because it's so far south. But not south, but compared to Canada, it's crazy to see. Hopefully they can get that doubleheader in tomorrow for both those teams.
Huff, we got to get our boy Brady on these wildfires.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that just about wraps up everything we have for the MLB this week. We have some news across some other sport leagues, the golf and soccer to be specific. Let's start off with golf and a shocking and historic move. The PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and the Saudi Arabia's public investment funds Live Golf have agreed to a merger that will see the PIF's golf-related business, Live Golf, combined with the other tours in what is being described as a new collectively owned for-profit entity to ensure that all stakeholders benefit from a model that benefits maximum excitement and competition among the game's best players. It's a direct quote there from ESPN. Will be completely new golf tour, new board directors, and I'm reading that the PGA Tour is holding a majority share in this, so we'll have majority in all the decision making and such. So I don't think we're gonna stray too far from, little bits and pieces of adding to the tour from what Liv's done right and all that stuff, but I'm not sure what to think of this. Lots of money being thrown around, but it's all good for the game of golf, I think. But I think some players are upset by it.
I think the ultimate loser are all those guys that we've seen the graphics that missed out on the 100 million, 300 million, Rory 400 million, and obviously Rory, he was kind of the main player that was obviously going to stay back, and obviously Tiger, but we know what his situation's been the past couple of years. But Rory was very vocal about not being a part of that, not going to Live, staying with the tour. And then obviously the ultimate loser in all this is the commissioner of the PGA, Jay Monahan or whatever his name is, and he was comparing the Live Tour to like 9/11 and all this stuff, and then he goes in and just does business with them behind everyone's backs, cuts away, $300 million for Hideki Matsuyama, $100 million for Will Zalatoris and all these other guys that missed out on hundreds of millions of dollars, and now they cut right in the back door and do business with them. So not a good look for them, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting because the one thing that I had to take away from this, I'm like, this is literally like if the XFL and the NFL, like if the NFL felt threatened by the XFL and they truly were like, we need to merge with them or we're not going to have a product we're not going to get players. They're just going to keep buying guys. Like I heard the rumor that I heard is why this picked up ground so fast. I mean, who knows how much this was in the works over the past couple of weeks, months, who knows how long, but I heard they thought PGA was fearing that they were going to give Jon Rahm and or Scheffler just whatever amount of money it took, and then who the fuck was going to be left on tour? Rory by himself. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I think it's an interesting look. Bad look for the PGA Tour, that for everyone that talked down on it. Now they're doing business with them. But I think, like you said, now we get all the guys back on one course and for all these events. But it's definitely going to be interesting. Get some news in the game of golf, that's for sure. Because usually something we're not talking about week in and week out.
Yeah, you like to see this type of thing on the front page of Sports Center. Yeah, I just think that what's his name, Jay Monahan or whatever. just gave
I
in,
think Jay Monahan.
I think he just gave into a lot of bullshit that he said that he wasn't gonna do. I feel bad. I mean, not so much Tiger, because I don't think Tiger ever would have done it regardless. But I feel bad for like Colin Morikawa and Will Zalatoris turning down $100 million deals just to end up being in the same position that they are now. LIV got what they wanted, and it worked out for them,
Yeah,
at least.
Take the money.
But that's incredible. I can't. That was definitely something that I don't think many people saw coming.
No. That was definitely pretty shocking. When I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit!" I felt like that was so fast. Like
They
this
just not even a year ago.
2021 is when they established.
Yeah, but like they started getting big like last year. I think all the signings
Right.
were. That's insane.
money talks.
For sure, yeah. Definitely a lot to look forward to in this whole golf merger. Some of these events might get real fun and wild versus, the normal PGA we're used to. So I think we're going to have a big variety and a lot of more competitiveness on the course and in the television. So I got another point here. The soccer superstar and FIFA world champion Lionel Messi has informed MLS club Inter Miami that he'll be joining the club. Massive move for the MLS is land, one of the most, if not the biggest names in recent soccer history. I saw a clip from Pat McAfee show today. He was saying this is blowing my mind. Regular price for an Inter Miami ticket before this was $29. Now they're up to $329, and they actually have halted all ticket sales due to an influx on their website, which is, from a business perspective, is just you feel like an idiot doing that, but there's always a good reason behind it, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
what do you guys think?
I mean, we've seen the LeBron effect where wherever he goes, the tickets, the Brady effect, and when he just left Tampa Bay, the difference. But Messi, that's world class, and something we've never seen in the United States, and obviously down there in Miami, big soccer, obviously huge sports town. Just Miami just keeps winning in all these sports. Hockey, they're in the cup. Or basketball, they're in the finals. Football, they got a good team. Miami Marlins are a good team, and now they get fucking Lionel Messi for their MLS team. So Miami's just a real champion in all this. But I think, yeah, the Lionel Messi effect, the effect for these big time soccer players is real, because I do think soccer is growing in the United States, and I think the MLS is on its way up for sure.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do is catch Lionel Messi on the road. That's going to be the best way to see him, but excited to see this for sure. You always see these European stars come over to the MLS and really get that bag and do whatever they want in these leagues. Definitely see some good highlights coming out of it, and I'm sure that it's only going to help grow the game of soccer in America as fans flock to watch one of the best players of all time.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever talked about soccer on this podcast, so shout out soccer for making its way on to Hit the Books. Here we go.
I mean, not even as a big soccer guy, but you got to remember, David Beckham did this. Zlatan Ibrahimovic did this. A lot of
Ibrahimovic did this, yeah.
a lot
I'm not
of
a
big names
Ibrahimovic
do this.
fan. I don't like him.
But like, it's the right move. It shows the MLS is growing, soccer is growing as a whole in America, and hopefully it can inspire the USA to become a relevant team come World Cup time.
I don't think the MLS will ever be like one of those Euro leagues.
No.
Wouldn't
Wouldn't be better than it is.
Over here.
It will get It will get good. It will get good, though. I do have faith in it. I think it has been on its way up for the past couple of years, and I think like stuff like this, like they're not continuously looking for these old retired guys. Obviously, Messi got a stake in the team, so that's like half the reason that he came here. But I don't know. I think they can keep getting guys to come back to the United States for sure, because the local talent, Canadian talent, like I guess like we didn't grow up playing soccer, like so like there's not huge soccer teams here, so like I feel like your dream is like go play for Manchester City, go play for Real Madrid, all these crazy teams over in Europe. But like if the MLS, if these kids start to stay here, if the MLS gets some legit money, kind of like what the fucking PGA Tour is doing, you know what I mean? They're finally going to start paying their guys to not leave. I mean, if they get the money that these European teams have, I don't see why not. Like
You want to grow up and be like,
The game's growing here as it is, so just a great start.
I do think the MLS, like, dude, I see Addison's story all the time at those Columbus Crew games. Those look fun as shit. That place is fucking packed.
Yeah, not so much for the New England Revolution, but they also play out of Gillette, so it's tough to fill that comparatively.
Yeah, true. See, that's like that hurts the team. They shouldn't play somewhere that big. It shouldn't look empty.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I
Huff,
agree with you.
are the Riverhounds MLS?
No, they're not. No, they're not on
Were
MLS.
they USA, USL?
Yeah, they're one of
No,
those. They
No,
they're
they're
actually
MLS.
Riverhounds.
Says, I mean, they're on the MLS website.
And we got NYCFC
I don't think they're
Maybe
like
and
MLS.
New York Red Bulls.
They-
Could be
they might have
it could
moved.
be like League 2 or something like that, though.
Yeah, it probably is something.
They're not like
They-
MLS. I'll tell you that.
You're right. It is USL. They changed.
Because MLS is like New York Red Bulls, Inter Miami,
New England
I was gonna
Revolution,
say,
I'm-
Philadelphia.
Portland Timbers, or
Columbus
Portland
Crew,
Sounders, or Seattle Sounders. Yeah,
Yeah.
Portland something.
Why do they have a freaking thing on the MLS website?
NYCFC
That's so
too.
annoying.
There's 2 teams. I don't know where the Red Bulls play.
New York gets 2 teams of everything, Mackie.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
but that-
All of
that's
us on this
ridiculous.
podcast have dabbled in the MLS live world at some
There you
point.
go. But like I said, that's talking soccer. Let's go. Second time ever. Ace, your boy came on and talked to soccer.
You
and
talked to us
here we
about
go.
it, but now we're understanding.
Yeah, now we're kind
Progress.
of sitting it back.
Progress.
He's probably sitting there like, damn, this is the most cringe soccer conversation I've ever listened to in my life.
Yeah, Beak, let us know what we missed.
Let us know how wrong every take we just had.
I think this move makes Miami a contender for the MLS chip.
Yeah. Put your futures in now.
You heard it here first. Hit the Bucks. Year 1, Lionel Messi, leading goal scorer, MLS Cup.
I mean,
just
fresh
to add
off
to
a
the
World
resume.
Cup, why not?
Add it to the resume. I mean, you get that World Cup. What do you think next? MLS need to win that.
There's those 2 great trophies in soccer. You think of the World Cup, and then you think of the MLS Cup. I don't even know what it's
I
called.
don't know if it's called the MLS Cup.
MLS Cup. I can guarantee it's not called that.
What do you think it's called?
Probably like the.
I bet it's
Mackie
sponsored.
wants
I
to
bet
chirp
it's
soccer
sponsored.
so
I was
bad
gonna-
right then.
I was gonna chirp, and then I stopped myself. Let's just find
You
out
got-
what it's actually called.
You guys ready?
Yep.
It's called the MLS Cup.
No.
No way! Get out of here! Come on.
It's gotta
I'm
be.
looking
It's
at it
gotta
right
be.
now.
They
It's
gotta,
gotta
they gotta rename that pretty soon.
That
if
sucks.
they really want the MLS to go far.
They just say we won the cup. That's
Mackie's
probably all
not
they said.
watching until they rename it.
No, that's my boycott right there.
All right. Well, I think that just about wraps up everything we have for this week's episode 41 here of Hit the Books. Lots to look forward to as we move into the rest of the NHL and NBA finals that are happening right now. NFL and MLB also on the horizon as they continue down the line for the MLB season, the NFL season quickly approaching. Anything else, guys? That's all I got.
Yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you're staying tuned to all the social medias for any plays. Had an MLB play today. Went a little 1-0. Going to be see what we got tomorrow. But other than that, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, comment, whatever you can do. It really goes a long way. So, but other than that, appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, great to be back. Missed a week last week, but back doing what we're doing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, I'm done.
Mackie, you took the words right out of my mouth, literally. Yeah, big week ahead. Be ready to see those other posts we got coming this week. We got some matchups highlighted. Mackie's gonna have our record. It's gonna be better than last week. We were still in the green, but nothing too crazy. And
Still in the
let's go, Florida teams. Pick it up. We want to see some series here.